Israel's recognition of Somaliland sets off a chain of condemnation.
While some celebrated, others protested.
One after the other, UN ambassadors condemned Israel's unilateral recognition of Somaliland.
This is the coastal city of Berbera in Somaliland, a gateway linking the Horn of Africa to the wider world. Situated at a narrow yet strategic crossroads between Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, Berbera has long carried significance far beyond its shoreline. More than a port city, Berbera lies adjacent to one of the most critical maritime corridors on Earth, the Red Sea, a vital artery that carries 15% of global trade and dictates the world's energy and economic stability.
Soomaaliya horta guud ahaan qof walba oo Soomaaliyeed iyo qof walba oo adduunkan ka shaqeeyo wuxuu fahansan yahay in Soomaaliya ay meel oo xasaasi ah ku taalo fahansan yahay meel xaqiiqdii istiraatiiji ah meeshaasi waa marin aad u qiimo badan ayaa ku yaal.
In recent months, Berbera has emerged as a key asset in Israel's expanding regional posture, coinciding with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's recognition of the self-declared breakaway region of Somaliland.
The rest of Somalia, which is Hodgepodge, has had al-Shabaab terrorists there. Never had elections since for decades. Got a lot of terrorists coming there. So why not support a democratic, moderate country, Muslim country that wants to join the Abraham Accords? I think everybody should do that.
Israel has always been a very renegade and rogue state among many countries that have been not respecting the international law and the international rules and regulations. In that line, this was a very unexpected step from Israel because we don't have any relationship with Israel and we didn't have it in the past 65 years that we were a functioning state. And it was a violation, blatant violation against the Somali sovereignty and the territorial integrity.
Turkey has tried to mediate between Somaliland regions and Somalia, and we have a couple of meetings here in Turkey in 2015, even as far as 2015, and Turkey has someone, a representative in Hargeisa, to continue that dialogue between us.
Elinde 71 bin Filistinli kardeşimizin kanı olan Netanyahu hükümeti Gazze, Lübnan, Yemen, İran, Katar ve Suriye'ye yönelik saldırılarının ardından şimdi de Afrika boynuzunu istikrarsızlığa sürükleme gayretindedir.
Unlike Palestine, Somaliland is not a virtual state. It's a functioning state. Somaliland is a fully functioning country based on the principles of international law. I welcome Somaliland's intention to join the Abraham Accords.
The hypocrisy of a state that occupied Palestine for decades, yet recognizes a breakaway region thousands of miles away, has met fierce global backlash.
As has the Secretary General, that the Security Council has repeatedly affirmed the respect for the sovereignty, territorial integrity, political independence, and unity of Somalia, as most recently reaffirmed in Resolution 2809 of 23rd December 2025.
While Netanyahu's decision left Israel increasingly isolated diplomatically, for Somalia it marked a defining moment. From Ankara to Addis Ababa, Beijing to Cairo, and New York to Riyadh echoed the same message. Somaliland remains part of Somalia.
İsrail'in Somaliland'i tanıma kararı gayrimeşrudur ve kabul edilemez.
The idea of recognizing part of Somalia, I think we believe it was a calculated effort by the Israelis occupying force to distract the world, and we really appreciate when you see the not only the members of the Security Council, which all of them supported the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia.
According to multiple reports, Israel's recognition of Somaliland was conditional, tied to a package of far-reaching concessions. These include accepting the resettlement of Palestinians, hosting an Israeli military presence along the Gulf of Aden, and joining the Abraham Accords, all in exchange for formal recognition.
Israel has been recently looking at that part of the world to just get closer to the Gulf of Aden, to the Gulf of Straits, to the Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb Straits, just get closer to that area. And in exchange of recognition, Somaliland has offered that opportunity.
However, many local communities reject Somaliland's self-declared independence and continue to align with Somalia's federal system.
When the recognition became public, I think at the first glance people were not expecting, so they started slowly to take to the streets and demonstrate and protest and show support and celebrations.
It is a hijacking the opinion of the people and future of the people and selling to the foreign powers for their own interest, rather than asking the people of Somaliland whether they want its independence or they want to make to be part of their own brothers and as the federal government. The way it has happened now, it is simply a personal matter where the leader secretly went to the Israel and made agreement of recognition with the leaders of Israel.
kulankeennan ama ziyaaradeennan booqashadeennan waxay xambaarsan tahay midnimo iyo nabad iyo walaaltinimo Soomaaliyeed.
waxaan cod dheer ku sheegayaa in SSC Khaatuma tahay deegaan iyo maamul Soomaaliyeed oo ka tirsan dowladda federaalka ee Soomaaliya mana aha meel lagu muransan yahay.
While Israel and Somaliland pursue strategic gains, this decision has not gone uncontested even within Israel itself. Addressing the Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee, Israeli opposition leader Yair Lapid has publicly condemned his country's recognition of Somaliland as a sovereign state, accusing Netanyahu of acting without institutional consent, transparency, oversight, or democratic mandates. According to Lapid, the decision bypassed both Israel's cabinet and security establishment, bodies traditionally responsible for decisions of national and strategic consequence. While much of the world has focused on the protests surrounding the recognition and its disputed legality, a quieter and potentially more consequential development has been unfolding on the ground in Berbera itself. Satellite images and open source intelligence reveal a deeper truth. Somaliland is a testing ground for another Israeli plan. Using a multi-layered strategy of influence, Tel Aviv is hiding behind a curtain, waiting for the right moment to strike at the heart of the Horn of Africa.
isbedelka amni marinada iyo maxaa la dhihi jiray Middle East ayaa dhacay. taa marka waxay keentay in Yemen oo burburtay oo dhib ka taagan yahay, ilaahay hadduu ku idmaayo Suudaan oo culays ka taagan yahay, Soomaaliya oo maxaa la dhihi jiray laga yaabo in Somaliland rabto inay go'do. waxyaabahaas markii la soo qiimeeyay Israa'iil waxa soo baxday anaga qiimeynteedu inay meeshaan dhulka garab garaysan.
Satellite imagery proves that months before any official diplomatic recognition, an intense Israeli military buildup was already underway. Our investigation reveals these structural changes align perfectly with Israel's urgent need for a forward SIGINT base, a strategic listening post to counter threats in the Red Sea. Beyond the military bases lies a more primitive motivation: exploitation. Geologists estimate that Somaliland sits on a variety of natural resources, a treasure that has remained untouched due to decades of instability.
Israel's recognition on parts of Somalia territory will have nothing that will change the planet drilling program, and Somalia belongs to Somalis and they will do their job.
Intelligence sources suggest that Israeli energy firms are providing the security and technological umbrella for these operations. For Hagisa, this oil is the lubricant of secession. For Tel Aviv, it is a strategic reserve that bypasses the traditional Arab-dominated energy markets. The evidence is clear. Even if Israel leaves no direct footprint, it has already deeply penetrated Somaliland through a network of proxies, shell companies, and front states, a shadow game where the sovereignty of a region is the ultimate pawn. Israel's move is seen as part of a longer historical pattern, one in which alternative territories were explored during moments of uncertainty over Palestine itself. Archival documents from the 1940s have resurfaced, detailing proposals to establish Jewish settlement projects in strategically located regions of Africa. Among them is a 1942 document by activist Herman Fernberg outlining plans to settle European Jews in Ethiopia's Harar region. The proposal prioritized logistics and geography while dismissing the presence of local populations, a mindset reflective of its era. Today, critics argue that echoes of that thinking can be heard once more, repackaged in modern geopolitical language.
It entails a lot of risks to the local people. Number one, of course, here it will create a proxy war. It will create a proxy war, between different powers and foreign powers. Israel against the Houthis, Israel against the Iranis, is all region become the unstable then. So the situation there will attract that kind of a proxy war. So it's a very dangerous and very risky to the society of Somaliland. Secondly, bringing more people from Palestine to that area where they do not know, it will create a demographic change. And that it will create ethnic tension. So that's another situation which makes the region unstable.
Bölgede Somali'nin parçalanmasından istifade etmeye hazır bazı ülkeler var. Hatta belli stratejik politikalarını bunun üzerine bina etmiş ülkeler var. İsrail bölgede kendini yalnız hissedince Gazze soykırımı sonrası tekrar başka bir planı devreye sokmaya başladı.
Yet amid diplomatic maneuvering and strategic calculations, a fundamental reality is often overlooked. Historically and geographically, Somaliland is an inseparable part of Somalia. The Horn of Africa began to take shape as a modern political entity in the late 19th century, when European powers, including Britain, France, and Italy, divided the peninsula at the Berlin Conference of 1884. In 1887, Britain established a protectorate in the northern region, naming it British Somaliland. However, historians note that British control was largely limited to the coastal cities, with much of the interior remaining under local authorities. In the 19th century, British and Italian occupations split Somalilands. The north under British control, the south under Italian administration, fracturing a unified people for imperial convenience. Ports were seized, resources were extracted, and sovereignty was stripped away. But amidst the oppression, a hero rose. In 1899, Sayyid Muhammad Abdullah Hassan launched the Dervish movement, raising the flag of independence against foreign invaders. The British called him the Mad Mullah and the African Napoleon. To his people, he was the soul of freedom. Centered in Somaliland, the Sayyid's greatest ally was the Ottoman Empire. Much like how modern-day Turkey is Somalia's strategic partner today, the Ottomans sent arms and ammunition to fuel the resistance.
Somali people are very much grateful for Turkey. This is not the first time that Turkey has supported Somalia in protecting its unity and territorial integrity and sovereignty. Of course, that is Turkey's gratefulness and Turkey's job in the region.
In 1960, independence finally arrived. Both regions declared sovereignty separately, but within 4 days, nationalists asked a simple question: what separates us? They chose unity. But if they share the same language, religion, and culture, why is Somalia again being torn apart today? How did a 1991 political deadlock become a tool for foreign players? Since 1991, political collapse has opened the door for Western actors to exploit division. Today's Somaliland is being transformed into a strategic asset, not for its people, but for foreign interests. The consequences extend far beyond borders. The Federal Republic of Somalia has lost hundreds of thousands of lives to terrorism and conflict. Analysts warn that perceptions of foreign intervention in the Horn of Africa are already being weaponized by terror groups. Narratives surrounding Israel's involvement are fueling recruitment and radicalization far beyond Somalia. Groups such as Daesh and Al-Shabaab are actively exploiting these grievances, threatening to undo years of counterterrorism progress.
If Israel hastens posting a security outpost in Somaliland, this could really affect the security of Somaliland and open it to retaliation attacks from armed groups, from other actors that consider Israel a hostile actor and would use Somaliland as a soft target against Israel.
For a region only beginning to emerge from prolonged violence, the danger is clear that Western countries' plays may once again reverse hard-won gains, handing extremist networks the momentum they have long been denied.